Okay, folks, so today I'm going to show you how to tie our new vertical fly called the Tuna can, which we fish in October and June. Now, the heads come unfinished, and we paint them ourselves. And there's another video to show you how to put the powder coating on these heads, if you can find some yourself, or you can get them from our online store. But we do them in white, chartreuse, and you'll notice we've got a little flake in there too, and the paint, and black, of course. But anyway, today I'm going to show you how to tie the charcoal and white colored one, which is like our best color, I think, for June. So anyway, I'm going to use red Danville flat wax nylon, the 210, real strong. You really need strong thread for this fly. And then I'm going to use some rabbit strips, just standard size. These are charcoal. We tie different variations of this fly. These are, purple and black, chartreuse. You can get all kinds of rabbit strip. And then we're going to use Flashabou for the flash tail on this fly. And I'm just going to use some Zap A Gap to help hold everything in place. It's not a very material intensive fly, and it's very easy to tie. So here we go. I'm going to lay down a thread base just behind the lead on the hook, on the bare hook, to get started. And then the first thing I'm going to do is lay down a layer of my Flashabou, which I already had some trimmed here. And the length is not cut yet. I'm going to leave that until after I do the rabbit. And then I'm going to pull off a section of the rabbit. And, the rabbit strips have a direction, and you want it flowing, away from the head of the fly, like the tail. So you can see pretty easily that, it is flowing that direction now. So I'm just going to go, and I want this to use a section about the same length, hide to hide, as the hook itself, including the head. And then I'm going to separate the fur there, and that's where I'm going to tie it in. And I'm going to place that spot right where I had my thread base. And the first wrap is kind of tough. You want to get it there on just the hide and not the fur, and keep it right on top of the hook, which, later on it's going to be actually the bottom of the hook, because this fly is going to ride upside down the other way. So 3 or 4 real good tight, and this is why you use flat wax nylon. And then I'm going to get it out of the way, and I'm going to bring my thread forward. And with this hook, I have to turn it a little bit just so that I can kind of get a visual on how to continue to tie the thread base down there. So you don't need a lot of thread. I just like to put enough so that I can put some Zap A Gap on it, head cement, because I'm going to wrap the rest of the hide down now, and I want it to stick to kind of help, hold it in place. This is a, big expensive fly that we're using, and we don't want it to fall apart on us. So just now I'm going to wrap the rabbit fur right up against itself as I go around. And each time I make a wrap, I'm going to pull the fur away so I don't trap it underneath the hide as it goes around. And I'm going to wrap right up against that flat tuna can head. Then I'm going to get there, and I'm going to tie off this rabbit. And you will notice that I'm kind of moving it around a little bit as I do this, so that I'm trying to eliminate trapping any fur, hair fibers underneath where I'm wrapping. And if you see any that you have, you can take your scissors and kind of pull it away. And then I'm going to trim the hide off and come in here and find where the end of that hide is, to make sure I have it trapped down under the thread so it doesn't fall apart. Okay, then I'm going to wet my fingers just a little bit so that I can pull all that fur away. And the reason I'm using this red thread on this fly is because I want to make a little red collar, like a gill plate. And we've always done this on this color fly, and it's always worked, so I don't want to change it, even though we're using a different head now. And I'm just going to come in here and do my little whip finish. Stay away from the fur. Cut off my thread. And then I'm going to go back to my Zap A Gap, and I'm just going to put a little dab on that thread. So if something happens, my knot comes undone, that glue will hold all that thread in place. And who knows, I might get a few more casts out of it. So then the reason I didn't trim my flash is because I want it to be just a little bit longer than the end of my tail. So I'm going to come in there, trim that off, and that is it, folks. That is the tuna can fly. So good luck out there.